radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Shirley Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Hey, it's Icarice, and I'm here to tell you about Hotcast for Podcasting. We are a podcasting studio located in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the Hot 702.5 FM studios. You can book online at hot7025fm.com. Just click on Hotcast. You can book and find your times right there. Thank you for booking with Hotcast for Podcasting.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale. It is what it is. It's hump day, baby. Time to holla at the homie. And I am the homie 360, the poet. And I'm right here. That's THAPOET. Make sure you spell my name right because it means something. Tenacity, heart, and attitude presents opportunities every time. That's right. And we right here each and every Wednesday on hot7025fm.com, on my Instagram live. Hey, y'all. On my TikTok live. What's up, y'all? And on my YouTube live. What's happening? Everybody out there doing their thing from every dang on direction. 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 o'clock in the Midwest, and 6 p.m. after that drive on the way home from work on the East. So what y'all doing out there and where y'all at and what y'all doing? That's what I'm talking about. We right here where the hottest music, the hottest hosts, and the hottest shows occur on hot7025fm.com. You see it over my shoulder right there. So if you need to know where to find us, go right there. You can see me and a plethora of other talented individuals that come on here and do our damn thing right here over your airwaves. We got over 2 million listeners worldwide in 18 different countries. That's what I'm talking about. We doing it. We global. So if you ain't stamped your passport anywhere else, come and stamp your passport right here. Come to Vegas with me as I take you around the world with everybody else as we do our thing on hot7025fm.com. And we at Holla at the Homie, the #1 spot for advice online or in person. This is how we do it. This is what we do right here each and every Wednesday. I tell everybody, I give a disclaimer, right? I like to say I've never been trained in any way, shape, form, or fashion in any type of, counseling or any type of parenting or anything like that. I've never been trained anyway. Psychology, psychiatry. But what I have done is I've lived a colorful life. And during that colorful life, what I've done, what's going on, Ambassador Ford? What's up, Cindy Williams? What I have done in that colorful life is, what's up, L? I've lived it, I've sponged up some game, and I'm able to squeeze it back out to y'all as we come on these airwaves and we get the questions and the letters answered that y'all send in to me. Either y'all email me at hollaathehomie@gmail.com. Y'all can text me if you got my phone number. Send me a DM and any of the chosen platforms in which you are watching and catching this show on today. What's going on, Detroit sister? What's happening with you out there? You hit me up any type of way that you can and find a way. What's up, Merrill Johnson? Out there, one of the best producers of all type of TV and everything out there. Went from Tennessee, California. She out there doing it big. What's up, Merrill? Good to see you home, girl. But that's what you do. So like this person that sent me in a letter in today, and they want to talk about old school courting. Somebody wanted to know, like, what happened to it? Has it disappeared? Why gone with dating and stuff like that, right? So what they did was they sent me a letter. They sent it to me. I broke it down. I dissected it. I read it about 5-6 times. And then I came back with a few notes to try to help her and others, as well as some of these fellas out here, understand where the disconnect is in that area. What's up, Patricia Stanford? What's going on with you? So we out here right now. So let me dive right into the letter so we can kind of get a better understanding of what this individual is writing us about today. So it says, Dear Holla at the Homie, I'm writing in as a woman who is just plain exhausted with how dating works these days. Or, and should I say, doesn't. I don't know what's happening to courting, but it feels like it's gone in the way of Blockbuster and love letters. Now it's all DMs, sneaky leaks, and situationships. The bar is not only low, and expectations are even lower, but now they're non-existent. I'm not expecting a man to lay rose petals at my feet or recite poetry under the stars, though I wouldn't say no. But I am tired of being treated like access to my body is step one, and getting to know me is optional. If it even happens at all. And what's wild is some women seem okay with this. It feels like we've all just accepted that Netflix and chill is the new normal. So here's where I need your help. How do I, as a woman who still wants real courtship, navigate today's dating scene without either becoming bitter or giving in to the bare minimum culture? Is there any hope of encouragement or more women to raise the standards, to require effort, intention, and actual dating before things get physical? I want to believe there are still men out there willing to show up with some old school energy. But honestly, right now it feels like I'm either asking too much or talking to a brick wall. Help me out, homie. What's the move? Sincerely, tired of the talk, craving the courtship. Ooh. Tired of the talk. What's up, Lucy Lowe? Somebody said they tired of the talk and they ready to, what she say, tired of the talk and craving the courtship. That means she wants that. She needs that. What's going on? Make sure y'all go live and tell your viewers to go live over here with me. If y'all out there doing it, make sure you share, tap, tap, tap. But the thing about it is, that's a real good question, right? You know, welcome back to a space where we safe to talk about things like this, where real talk meets grown talk, right? We break down all the madness that deals with the modern dating scene and, without losing our minds. Basically, we trying to do this without losing our whole brains, trying to figure out what's right, what's wrong, and what's indifferent in the world's dating scene, right? So what I'm trying to get people to understand here is that you're not alone out here. So shout out to you, my sister out there who actually said something. What's up, Amar Kamar? Shout out to my sister who wrote this under the name Tired of the Talk, Craving the Courting, right? Craving the courtship. Baby girl says she's over all the sneaky leaks. She says she's done with the situationships. She's done with the DMs, the what's up, the you up, the WYD text. You know what I mean? Like all those things that people try to get over with smooth and easy. All those things that people try to get over with easy on you by saying like, hey, you up? I remember back in the day, you could send a text out, a mass text to multiple people at the same time, and they wouldn't even know that you were sending out to other people until one day, it wasn't me that got called up the first time, but somebody I know. And they put them on blast too. She said, what say you ladies? Are we up? Like she sent that text back to this person and everybody in that text started making their own response. So that's what the way of the world has come to. I was just watching Ryan Clark and who else? It was Fred Taylor and Channing. They got this podcast, right? And there was a clip from it. And Ryan Clark was talking about how people nowadays, especially the young dudes, will never understand the fact of the adrenaline rush that came along with asking a girl for her phone number. Like, any of y'all remember that? Like, having to build up the courage, whether y'all at a dance or whether y'all somewhere else, like, whatever the case may be. What's up, pretty? Like, whatever the case may be, do y'all remember what it was like to actually go up to somebody and either ask them, just ask them to dance? Like, that was an adrenaline rush. Or like, they were talking about how if you had a group of friends, it was always that one friend who was the first one to go over and break the ice, because nobody ever knew who liked who in the group, right? So that's what you got to understand. Like, before, you had to take the time to get to know, what's up, Nadine, to get to know something about somebody, right? If you really wanted to know something, if you really wanted to see if you liked them or you dug them, if you wanted to spend more time with them, you really had to invest some listening in. What's up, Rip Van Winkle? You had to invest some listening in to see exactly whether or not you enjoyed them, whether or not this was somebody you wanted to spend any more time with. Like, my wife always talking about how, like, you don't even know what people's phone voice sound like anymore. Because you would tell back in the day, like, you get somebody's phone number, they get home, because, when y'all get to macking in public, you got your best voice on, hey, what's up, da-da-da-da. But you answer the phone, hello? And you sound like a completely different person. Try to change your voice, right? What's up, Eva? So that's the thing. Before, you wouldn't know what somebody's phone, nowadays, you can't even tell what somebody's phone voice is like. Like, I used to kill them on the phone. I ain't even gonna lie. I had a deep voice since I was about in the 6th grade. I'd had a mustache since the 6th summer going to the 7th grade, and I'd had a deep voice since about the 6th grade. So I've been out there, Mike, from Boys to Men my whole life, damn near, right? So I know what the phone thing was, because you always say, ooh, they sound like they look good. Remember that? Some of my people out there, tap in if you remember that. Tell me if you remember saying, ooh, they voice sound good. Ooh, she sound like she fine. Or, ooh, he sound like he look good. Like, pretty, you. That's what I'm saying. Pretty, you remember that, right? That's the thing. You remember people saying, like, man, I'm going to invest some of my time to listen to something they got to say, right? What's up, Papa Midnight? Yup, you remember that too, right? And that was a part of the whole get down. You got a chance to really see if you dug what these people were talking about, if they were doing, right? So let's be real. Courting today has taken a back seat to the way that dating is occurring. We went from, can I take you out on Friday night? Like, we used to actually date. So a lot of people that's not out there dating still, if you're in a relationship and you still not dating, then you might want to evaluate that as well to see if that's something you need to re-tap into, right? Because it's a good feeling. You get to ask somebody, can I take you out Friday night? That was a big thing, to be able to ask somebody out. We went from that to, you up? Now we just hook up, when before we used to actually date. Right? That was the biggest thing. That's the biggest difference to me, right? We used to actually date people, and now, I'm hooking up with such and such. That's even the phraseology behind it. That's even what people say, we've been hooking up for about 6 months. Not we've been dating for about 6 months. We've been hooking up for about 6 months. Netflix, chilling, maybe not even that. Parking lot, popping it off, whatever the case may be. Wherever y'all been hooking up, y'all been doing it for 6 months, but y'all ain't been dating. So dating has taken a back seat to these things. In a matter of years, the art of intentional dating has been replaced by convenience. That's one thing that, like, social media has allowed people to gather up, to gather the strength, to muster up the strength off of the convenience of being able to access somebody. Because everybody wants followers. Everybody wants these likes, right? So we allow access to people a little bit more than we would in the MySpace days. MySpace, you had to really accept somebody as your friend, and people was in your top 5, your top 10, and people get mad if they not in the top 5, top 10. Now it's just based off the most of people who look at your page, or people associated with their pages who look at your page, right? What's up, Deidre Orr? What's happening with you, home girl? You remember these days of dating and somebody asking you for your phone number, right? That's the thing. We don't do that anymore. Now it's like we get access to people off following them. Like, people don't have friends anymore. We have followers, right? So now we can't be like, I hooked up, my friend hooked me up with such and such. Now it's like, I was on my homeboy page and saw her, liked her, DM'd her, and now we, I'm about to fly her out, or I'm about to fly out to go, or I'm going to see her when I'm in her town. It's that type of thing now. It's no more phone conversations. When the last time you fell asleep on the phone talking to somebody? Exactly. That pretty. The first time I heard somebody ask for, can I get your IG, and not a girl's phone number? That blew, I was mind blown emoji. No lie, my mind was blown. My mind was telling me no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what? You actually asked for her IG? What's up, Glenn Allen? Instead of her phone number? Like, and a lot of times people don't even want to give you their phone number because that's too much access to them nowadays. Because I was doing some business one day, right? And somebody was like, okay, well, I'll text you, whatever. Give me your number. I'll text you. And I didn't really want to give them my number because I knew that my name was going to come up. And my real name, my government, I was DBA 360. I was doing business as 360. They ain't need to know my government. Those of y'all that know it, y'all know it. Those that don't, you don't. And it's nothing personal. It's just people get weird and they can dive into you too deep. Dive into your information too deep when they got your government. You dig? So that's where the Googling come in. You know what I mean? Like, people can get a whole lot of stuff, weird stuff. But I'm going to leave it at that, right? So no, I did not want to give this person my phone number, but then my light bulb came on. I got a Google number. I've got a Google number. So I was forced to give this person my Google number, which gives the message in the beginning saying, hey, I'm going to check with this person, give your name. We're going to see if they want to talk to you, basically, right? So now that's what I'm talking about. Things have gotten so convenient. What's up, Mike Donardi, Real Estate? Things have gotten so convenient based off social media nowadays. Again, like Pretty said over here on TikTok, people don't even ask for your phone number anymore. They want your IG. Let me get your TikTok. Let me get your Facebook. Exactly. It happens all the time. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It happens exactly in real estate. You're right, Mike Donardi. It happens all the time. People get your real government and all your personal information off your cell phone number. Just use my card. Call the business line. You know what I mean? I don't want you to call my personal number. And it's sad that we've gotten to that point. Exactly. Reviews are first and foremost checked by 90% of the clients. That's a point. Exactly. You don't want people checking your real life and it's based off business. Because one side, hey, I wear masks. We all do. Nobody, people got their work phone voice. Like, I saw a meme the other day. I think it was on Lucy Lowe's page. She put up a meme like me before the Zoom message, and she doing some ratchet music, dancing, bang, bang, bang. But then as soon as it come on, yes, hello everyone, good morning, thank you. But nobody knows nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where we gotta kind of find a balance. Because you really don't want people to have access to you like that. But if you meet somebody and it's due to the fact that it's because, hey, we met through social media or we met on a dating app or whatever the case may be, then that's okay. I'm not saying that you can't meet somebody that way, but we're trying to figure out where's the disconnect between when you meet them, you talk to them, and now you kind of get to know them before y'all smash. What'd you say, Mike Donardi? The harsh dash reality of this is the new modern day and age of society. And it is. That's the new modern day and age. That's what people do. What's up, Carlin? That's what people do nowadays. Nobody's just going to just be like, hey, let me get your number. Let me get them digits. Before it was 7 digits because they were in the same town, so they ain't need an area code. But then all these cell phones came about, beepers came about. People live across the street, got 2 different area codes. So now let me get them 10 digits. Let me get your phone number. I'd rather, because even if I get your phone number, we can text, but in that, we still not talking. I don't even know what your voice sounds like if all we're doing is speaking with our thumbs. Y'all know how I feel. If y'all been with me these last 2 years, y'all know how I feel about texting. I don't do it very fast. Let's start with that. I don't text very fast. So I don't spend a whole lot of time getting back with you on text. The best thing in the world to me is voice text. Oh, man, they call me the old man. They call me Unc. They call me all they want to call me. But I'm telling you, I don't want to talk to you, but I want you to hear the intent in my voice, right? I want you to be able to say, hey, this is what he meant. Because if I text you, what's up? It can mean like, what's up? I mean like, what's up? But if I be like, what's up? If on a voice text, what I mean. Like, oh, he's really trying to get the business, So let's find the balance between today's dating and today's access to each other and kind of mix it in with the old school. That's all that this person is asking. Tired of talk, craving the courtship. That's all she's asking. She says, I'm writing to you as a woman who's just plain exhausted with how dating works these days, or shall I say doesn't. You know what I mean? She says she's just exhausted with how it works. You know, and another thing she's trying to figure out is how to get other women. You know, we're going to get more into that. She wants to get more women, but not just the women, the men too, to get more interested in what somebody has going on between their ears than between their thighs. You know, people not understanding this soul, you know, what's up, K. Marie? People not understanding this soul connections that you giving. You know what I mean? Well, soon as that lock hit the key, soon as that key hit the lock, man, it's a connection. It's like a jumper cable, right? When you make that jumper cable, then that's when you got a connection. You can get a jolt from this one to that one. But without it, you can't. It's not the same. You can get people to jump from place to place. What you say? I think we found people were in the moment. We're just getting phone number. That's old school. We need to know what life is almost looking like. And I get that. I get we need to know what life is looking like. But if you think about it, social media is full of filters. Social media is full of filters. Like, they hit you with filters, but they hit you with your own face. It's a box that says none, but you don't even really see it because the other ones are already there to make you prettier, to make you lighter, to make you darker, to whatever you want to do to yourself to create the look that you want. That's fabrication. That's all filtered. We living in a filtered life. What's up, Crystal D. Reed? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's those are filters in social media. So, yeah, I get that people want to get to see so is this guy on the phone when you call them. So is the guy on the phone when you call him. I get that. But he's not really filtered. You know what his voice sound like. Because even if I'm talking on the phone, if I do my voice like this real quick, you'd be like, ooh, man, dang. But at least you know what if my laugh sounds stupid? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the background of I want to be able to imagine what the background of your house looks like. I want to hear the noises in the background and be like, oh, man, that's an ice cream truck. They live in a cool neighborhood where the ice cream truck can roll around. Would you say, Papa Midnight, I'm trying to date now as well. It's exhausting. It's exhausting for men and women. Good to see you too, Crystal. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. It's exhausting for men and women because now, like, the men that still want to date and want to court and want to be old school, we looked at as being corny. Like, when the last time you seen somebody show up to somebody's crib, knock on the door with some flowers? When's the last time? I'll wait. They don't even show it on TV anymore, hardly. I'll wait. But the thing about it is somebody said it's dangerous. It's dangerous, but it's more dangerous when you're dealing with just social media. So you rather just go bust it wide open for this complete stranger with no connections. NSA, no strings attached equals no love. I wrote that down in big red letters. No strings attached means no love attached. You know, it's exhausting for somebody old school like me. I'm glad I'm out the dating pool. I'd have been losing my dadgum on mine because I don't even know how to play the internet game. I don't. Chivalry is almost dead. It's almost dead, Chris. But the thing about it, it's still some of us out here. What's up, JC? It's still some of us out here who are chivalrous. And the thing about it is we get looked at as being cornball. Who is this dude? You know? Who is this mofo? Like, he's corny. Why he bringing me flowers? Ugh. You know what I mean? People trying to get flued out somewhere. It's the same exact thing. It's just born in 1970 perspective versus 2000s perspective. It's not the same thing. It's not, because when the last time you seen somebody holding hands? I mean, yes. 1970s. He say because but the thing about it is, why is that affection and love not okay anymore? That's the question that this young lady is asking, because she's from an old school era, but she wants, what's up, Sapphire Key? She wants to figure out why has it gone from what it used to be, what she used to see, to now what it is. I feel bad for anybody who's forced back into the dating pool. You say, shaking my head, simple things are missing these days. Yes, they are, pretty. Simple things are missing. It's the simple things. Like, I give dap and props when I see people holding hands, or especially when if I see a black couple, really, boy, oh man, you know me, I love black love. I love love altogether, but black love is a special thing, right? When I see them holding hands, I be like, salute, king and queen. I salute them. It don't even got to be black. Anybody, salute. I appreciate y'all for showing an example of how people can still love each other. Because that's an affection. I don't own you. We just connected. We have a vibe going through us. It's not just about how we're vibing. We have a vibe that we are creating amongst ourselves. Physical touch is one of the love languages. Acts of service, love languages, right? Would you say, I'm so old school, I just refuse to date? And that's the thing, and that's what this young woman's saying here. She said, because in her letter, she said, I'm not expecting a man to lay out rose petals at my feet or recite poetry under the stars, though I wouldn't say no, but I'm just tired of being treated like access to my body is step one and getting to know me is optional. That's the question. Why is the nana the first thing? Like, you don't even hear love songs anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even portrayed in our music. When's the last time you heard a real love song without the word F in it? With the big F in it. When the last time you heard a love song without somebody saying something about some dick? Ain't none. There aren't any. Because nobody wants to make love anymore. Everybody trying to cuff. Mix the letters up. Everybody trying to cuff. Nobody wants to make love no more. I always see black folks being affectionate. Where you be at 360? Apparently not around the affectionate black folks. Apparently I don't. But then again, when I do see it, I don't treat it like it's a national holiday. I just look at it like, ooh, that made me feel good about my path right now. Where I'm stepping. That made me a little bit of more gas behind me. You see, I think she's completely correct, but it's no different than the 90s love song. I just listened to some liquor songs from the 70s. Some P-liquor songs. And I get that. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was just the way it was said, though. What's up, no one really? Because the first booty call song ever performed, written, Marvin Gaye. He say, get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So in other words, he calling you late night. Wait, let's make love tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said it. When I get that feeling, I need some sexual healing. But he wasn't talking about, let me bust you down, lick my neck, my back, and my crack. But he was talking about doing the same things to her behind closed doors where nobody knows where the nose goes. But it's the couth in which it was said, which means the approach is in which it was said. I'm always here to say it's not about the message. It's about the delivery. Let's wrap it up in a better packaging when it comes to getting to know somebody. Like, people say it's dangerous, but stranger is the danger. If I don't get to know you, if I ain't seen you in no pictures, if I ain't been to no place where your family is being, you have no roots to me. There's no roots to me. Like, if I can't figure out wagwan, where you come from, child, there's no roots for me. So I'm not getting to know you. We just cuffing. We smashing. That's all we're doing. If I don't know anybody who's related to you, if I've never been around anybody who's an elder of yours, if I've never been around anybody who you consider familial, then we just smashing. We are in a situationship. What's up, Vicky's Dinners? We are in a situationship. And to be able to deal with that and to roll with that, then that's a question we have to ask ourselves, right? So, like, you asked a real question. How do you hold on to your standards? You said, how do you hold on to your standards and want love with intention and still survive in a hookup culture without being considered bitter or giving up playing the game, right? How do you get that? Here's my answer. You don't lower your standards. You raise them. You raise your standards. Just because somebody want to try to bring you down to the mud and you trying to keep yourself clean don't mean just because they want to get dirty, you got to go down there with them. Either they got to clean up their act or they don't get access to you. You raise your standards. If you raise the bar, you make them upgrade. You know? To at least conversation at the least. You know what I mean? What'd you say, Crystal Reed? I love black love as well, and I appreciate it when I see it. It gives me hope that it's still alive somewhere. It just hasn't found me yet. LOL. Ain't no LOL. I mean, how can you laugh out loud? I get it. Because I know you personally. It's out there for you. You know what I mean? Because you a vicious piece. What's up, being star A _ A? What's up, Lila? So that's the thing about it. And this is exactly what this young woman is saying. She's tired of the talk and she's craving the courtship because people aren't connecting anymore, is what she's saying. You know, everybody doesn't deserve access to you. That's what people got to understand. Just because it's so easy to get access to someone, go on somebody's page, get to somebody else's page, follow that person, right? That's a disconnected access. But everybody doesn't deserve personal access to you. You know, if they're not coming with clarity, if they're not coming with consistency, if they're not coming with actual interests beyond your body, if they aren't bringing these things to the table, then that means that they're not a suitor for you. What they're doing, they just a time thief. They stealing your time. Time gets stolen or people give it away. It's lost, it's stolen. I say that in poems of mine all the time. Tick tock is the thunderous war cry of your most fierce opponent. Everybody faces them, but the victorious will tell you it's how bad you want it. So time, how much do you want to take control of your time? Because this person is being a thief of it if all they do is hit you with the what's ups and what you doing or you sleep. And then out of nowhere, either you at their crib, they at yours. And I challenge some of y'all out there. You say you still hold hands. That's what I'm talking about. I challenge some of y'all out there because I know some of y'all under the sound of my voice. If you can, I'm not going to say if you can. I want you to go back the last, I'm going to say 3 people. Now, because everybody ain't out there doing it like that. The last 3 people that you had sex with, can you state their middle name? Ask yourself that. Can you state the middle name of the last 3 people that you smashed? If you can't, then that's a question you should ask yourself, like, damn, what am I doing? You giving up the goods and you don't even know what the letter in my middle name stand for. Even if you don't even know the letter in my middle name. My middle name is James, y'all. It's not. My middle initial, not even J. I'm just saying. Can you give the middle name of the last 3 people that you smashed? If you can't, then there's a reevaluation that needs to occur. That's just real talk. If the truth hurts, say ouch. I say that all the time. The truth hurts, say ouch. You know, so if this person is just trying to be a time thief, or if somebody trying to get in your panties, ask them, what's my middle name? Ask them, what's my middle name? If you can't get my middle name, you can't get in the middle of these thighs. They're going to be Googling the hell out. They're going to be on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, just trying to find out. Is her middle name Nicole? Is her middle name Denise? What's her middle name? Is it Siobhan? They trying to figure out all the most common middle names. And you probably middle name probably after your granny or something. Ask yourself that. What's up, Uncle Paul? Ask yourself that, right? Can you give the middle name of the last 3 people that you smashed? And can they name yours? Would you say you can't go wrong with Renee? Exactly. Now that is Renee and Nicole, I think, are the 2 most common middle names in the world. In the world. And that's all cultures. All cultures. You can find some Renees and some Nicoles. You can find too many Carisas. You know? But that's the thing. So you have to ask these questions, right? So that's all we're trying to do. We're trying to get to the bottom of it for Miss tired of the talk, craving the courtship, right? You know, so after that, after you say block, delete, carry on, then what? And then what? First, I'm going to stack my dough, and then what? What you going to do after that, right? You know? Remember, don't allow access to you. Don't allow everybody access to you. That's what you got to understand. Everybody can't have that access because if that's so, you for them streets. Your address is them streets. If everybody got that same access to you, who feels special? Who is special to you? You see what I'm saying? Like, I remember somebody told me back in the day, like, I can't sleep with you because I got a boyfriend, but I'll give you some head. What? I said, tell me all about it. tell me more about this. You know what I mean? But that was wild to me. And that was 20 some odd years ago I heard that. Like, there's people been operating like this before social media. Social media only been out since what? 07? Facebook hit in 07. So that's how I call social media. I don't consider Black Planet and MySpace, even though they were media of the social type. I mean, like full access social media, right? 2007, right? So 20 years ago was what, 05? I heard this. It's been going on before social media. So we can't just blame social media for everything. This mentality been around for a while. It's been brewing, right? You know? But you got to understand, like, come on. You know, look, I get it. It's hard out there. I get it. It's hard. It's hard out there for a pimp. I get it. I'm not sleeping on that at all, right? But you start to wonder. You start to ask yourself, somebody who's like this, that's reading this, that wrote me this letter, right? You start to ask yourself, is it me? Am I the problem? You know, am I doing too much? Am I asking for too much? You know, but let me reassure you one thing. It's not just you. It's not wrong for wanting to be courted. It's not a problem to want to be respected and valued before anything physical goes down. What's up, D Gizzy? It's nothing wrong with that, right? You know, but it's not asking for too much. That's asking for what I consider basic human decency. That's all it really is to me. That's just basic human decency. Like, you wanted to be looked at as a human before a specimen, before a piece of meat. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, and because there's some dudes out there that's been done and felt this way as well, so don't act like y'all haven't. You thought it was more than what it was, and she just wanted you for the swipe. She just wanted you for what you could provide her, or that head. Whatever you were given that she was liking that really wasn't going no further than what you thought, my guy. This is basically what this woman is saying in this letter. What's wrong with me wanting for you to invest some time into who I am, into thinking about who I am before you invest some time in this 8 minutes of what you consider pleasure? That's what's wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, all you asking for, Miss Tired of the Talk, is a romantic gesture. That's all. You want something wrapped with a romantic effort, basic human decency, right? You know, but the thing I enjoyed the most about your letter is the big picture that you put up. You talked about community. That was powerful. You talked about, is there a way to get other women to raise their standards again? Is there a way to kind of get other women to kind of value themselves a little bit more to cause the guys to value y'all a little bit more as well? That was a big question, because you're not asking this just for yourself. You are truly tired of, you said it first, you said you're exhausted with the way dating is going today. So that right there just put the nail on the head, the fact that this isn't just about you. You want to figure out a way to get us all back to those old school ways of trying to figure out how we can get in them draws and not just busting it open, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That was a big thing. And I'm glad you said it, because it's not just about you. This is a we conversation. When I say we, I mean people who think like you, men, women who don't think like you. This is a totality. This is a conversation for all of us, because you have to be able to say, like, hey, man, like, it's not just me thinking this way, is it? What's up, Carla Reddick? It's not just me thinking this way, having these thoughts, feeling like this, is it? It can't be, right? And so for you to ask that, you really dove into how can you get this to be more about community. First things first. Got to stop signing off on this BS. You got to stop co-signing mediocrity. Like, even if one of your girls say, girl, let me tell you, I just da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's something along these lines that you don't agree with, you can't be like, girl, you do you. You don't have to, put it through no whole inquisition or anything like that, interrogation, but you can ask her, be like, how does that make you feel about yourself? I really want to know, because if I'll hit that situation, I want to know how I'm supposed to feel about myself. I've done it, and I don't like the way I felt about myself. How do you feel about yourself behind that? We friends, we can talk like this. You should be able to talk to your friends like this, right? So how do we get each other to stop signing off on mediocrity? How do we stop giving access without effort? Because, again, this is a we conversation. So I switched it over to you, to I, from I, I switched it over from you to we. How do we stop giving access without effort? First, we got to stop normalizing no strings attached. Because that's what it is. It's normal now. It's normal for people to think, oh, I just got an NSA relationship, no strings attached. But as soon as you get inside there, it's attached. Somebody's attached. Something's attached. These souls are attached. And you sharing that with everybody else that you with. So now they got a part of them with them too. And you taking on all the parts of the other people with you. Man, listen, I remember one time my little feelings was hurt. Boy, I thought I had me a cold one. Cold one, boy. She was a TA in college. And, oh, man. And I'm thinking I'm the only one tapping that ass, right? I come over a couple days after, maybe 3 days after I had just been there, and I look in the trash, and it's rubber wrappers in the trash. Not even the kind that I was using. Man, listen. And when she gave it to me raw and uncut, like, we just, I got friends, you got friends. And I knew I had other friends, but I thought I was, low-key baby booed up. But then the reality of it hit me. And that's when I realized the dating world ain't the same anymore. You understand? So that right there was a wake-up call for me. So I had to ask myself, how do I feel about myself after that? I ain't like it. So if we stop giving access and normalizing this no strings attached without any effort, then, instead of moving on how we vibing, let's talk about the vibe that we have between each other. Where's that? What's up, Barbie girl boss? Where's that connection? Where's that vibe, that link that we have between each other? Not about the vibe that we have when we're around each other. What are the vibrations that we emote in each other's direction? Right? We got to stop co-signing the mediocrity. When women raise the bar collectively, then the market has to shift. It's like the stock market, right? When certain stocks go up in price, when there's less access to certain stocks, the value goes up, the price goes up. What up, though, Damon Williams? What's happening with you, bro? I said, when there's less access to certain stock, would you say, Leo, this happened to me and I tasted something funny one day? See, that's what I'm saying. See, you tasted something funny, so that means she still has some yin yang yang and I won't. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the thing. Think of it like the stock market. When there's less access to a stock, the value of it increases. So now people have to build a portfolio to be able to afford that stock. And it's not about monetary affording it. It's about being able to have that within your circumference and maintain it. Ain't nothing worse than getting a baddie and you can't even keep her. What? Get a baddie and you can't keep her, your feelings are hurt because you didn't have what it took to maintain it. That's like getting a big fish on the line, and as soon as you get in the boat, it hop back off because you ain't strong enough to keep it on there. You didn't keep it hooked based off how you was moving, right? So that's the same thing when it comes to these women. It's the same thing when it comes to dating. If effort is what gets rewarded, then effort is what gets applied. Pressure either makes diamonds or it busts pipes, not nuts. You hear me? Pressure is either going to make a diamond or it's going to bust a pipe. It's not busting nuts. So if you apply the pressure to these dudes that you say ain't putting forth no effort, then they going to apply the proper amount of get back to make sure that they turn this into a diamond. Because if not, They busted. They busted. That pressure done busted they pipe. They heart, they wang, whatever it is, they gone now. They back out in the streets because they can't handle and maintain the pressure you applied for them to treat you in the right way, to turn that coal into a diamond. What's up? All I do is win. You know, so that's what you got to look at this as, right? You can't look at it as like, well, I'm being a prude or, you know, something like that. And to my fellas, look, this ain't an attack on us. I'm not saying this. Again, I address the letters. I'm always going to give devil's advocate, angel's advocate. I'm on both shoulders. This is not an attack on us. This is just a call in. If you want a woman of value, you have to lead with value. What's so hard about that? You attract what you are. You attract what you emote, right? So if you lead with value, you got your shoulders back, your chin parallel to the ground, you're smelling good, your car is clean, if nothing else, your nails ain't dirty, and you got some conversation, then that means she got to match you with some of that. She got to meet you in some of those places if she want to stay around you. So again, it's not an attack on us, fellas. It's not. You know, the game in some ways is tired. Like back in the day when they had people that were real players in the game, there was a competition. So people knew you had to step your game. That's where the phrase step your game up came from. Now y'all ain't even apply. Y'all ain't doing it. Only game y'all playing is on with y'all thumbs. Whether you texting or you on a video game, nobody's got game anymore. That's where the phrase step your game came up. Because if somebody chose somebody over you, that means it was something where you need to elevate yourself to remain the chosen one. So ladies, step your game up. If you tired of men just sliding up in there and sliding your DMs and then sliding your panties, then make them talk to you before you give them the nah-nah. DAFUQ? What up, Al Rich, Superman of the car biz? You know, if and again, fellas, I'm not attacking us. I'm just trying to get us to step our game up. That's all I'm speaking on. Don't get me wrong. It's lazy to be out here just like sliding in with no. It's easy. It's easy. So we don't appreciate it as much anymore. We don't. That's why you got people at Puffy crib baby oiling and stuff with each other. Because it's too easy. Sex is too accessible. Before, people had to work for that ass. Think about that from back in the 90s when you was in high school. Yeah, you had some that was for them streets. You had some that was for them streets, but it was far and few in between. Now, it's the norm. The streets is the universal address for some people. Even the baddies. And that's why they got all these commercials with all these pills you can take to get rid of stuff that's giving you side effects that's killing you anyway. Because nobody wants to put in the work anymore. Again, I told you, we used to go have competitions. We would catch the bus to the mall and see who come back with the most numbers in their pocket. What's up, Kelly Lee Williams? You know what I'm talking about, homeboy. You from my era. You know, we used to have this as a competition and, you know, and it was effort. It was game. We were having fun with it. So to my young lady who wrote in the letter, hold the line, my girl. Hold the line, my sister. Don't let that marlin off. If that's what you want to catch, if you want to catch the big fish, I'm not talking monetarily. I'm talking about mentally. If you want to catch the big fish mentally, where you feel in your mind and in your heart that this is the catch, hold that line. Keep your standards high. Raise them even more if you feel like they coming down too low for you. Keep your heart open and set strong boundaries. The man who's meant for you, he won't be scared to court you. He won't be scared to date you. Like this was before I even moved out here to Vegas, right? This is about maybe like 10 years ago. And I'm the type, I open the door for women that are with me, whether it's my lady, my family members, whoever, if it's my homeboy, whoever, if it's a woman with me, I'm going to open the door, the car doors and the doors, right? So I'm opening the door for my lady. You know, she was my girlfriend at the time, so I'm going to call her my ex-girlfriend, but she's my wife now. But I was opening the door for her, and this dude and his girl were in the parking lot already in the car, right? And he was like, man, you just got me in trouble. I said, what you mean? He said, you opened that door for her. I said, I didn't get you in trouble. I just showed you what to do. I just showed you what to do, partner. That's all it is. What's wrong with that? Like my wife was getting in the back seat of the car and my homeboy was getting in the front just because they were getting on opposite sides. So I opened the door for his wife. He opened the door for my wife. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just common courtesy. This is what real men do. We lead with value. And that's all I'm saying to my fellas. Just make sure y'all leading with value. And to the ladies, make sure that the man leads with value to where you don't have to, but you want to meet him in the middle somewhere with his effort. So again, to Miss Tired of the Talk, Craving the Courtship. You know, the person that's meant for you will be honored to be around you. And as for the rest of them, let them keep swiping left or right or whichever direction they swipe. I don't know. I ain't got none of them profiles. You know, you are the bigger catch. And you'll start to see it. I know it again. I said it in the beginning. I know it seems like a lonely place to be right now because the majority of the people are just giving it up and nobody's really checking for those who not. But if it's somebody that that has value within themselves, they'll be willing to do that same thing. And that's the word for the day, family. That's all I really got for y'all. You know, if it spoke to you, pass the word on. Don't hold this information in. This is a each one, teach one type of thing, right? And maybe we'll get to the point where we are leading with value all the way around full circle 360 degrees, right? So drop your thoughts in the comments, write a letter to holla@thehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. You still get your Holla at the Homie. It's t-shirt season, y'all. Make sure y'all email me, get these in there too as well, y'all. So until the next time I breathe in y'all direction, take care of yourselves and each other. I'm 360 the Poet. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot702.5fm.com.